everyone. I just wanted to give you an update on EVFM, which I called out this morning in Twitter. And a lot of you have messaged me saying it was a great call and that you guys have done really well so far. I'm happy to hear that. Everything I say is not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. And let's get into it. If you could just take a minute to like and subscribe, I'd appreciate it. Okay, guys, this comes from Ortex, and as you can see, I highlighted EVFM, EVFM Biosciences. They have a market cap of 79.53 million, and I'm just going to give you the important stuff. The short score is 89.72, so it is on one of the top stocks to squeeze shortlist, as well as the free float on loan is 23.75%. They have a 15.86% short interest, 100% utilization, and the cost to borrow currently is 26.75%. So in order for this to essentially squeeze, guys, what I'd like to see in the upcoming days is for the cost to borrow to continue to increase as the price moves up. Let's take a look at the chart and see where it stands. Okay, guys, I'm going to start with a one-year chart, which in EVFM's case, it's kind of a little irrelevant because they've been in a downtrend so long that at this point, until we see some really big moves up, this is not going to help us. We need to look at a smaller time frame. However, I will say I'm going to keep my eye on the fact that the 13 is curling up. And what you want to see happen is the smaller time frames start to cross over the larger time frames. So it appears that the 13 is trying to cross, the green is the 13, is trying to cross above the 20, which is very bullish, guys, to start off. If this continues to curl up, you eventually want to see the 13 curling above the 20 and go and curling back over the 48 SMA. And ultimately we want to see, it go over the 200-day moving average. But that's still a good time away based on this. So what's more important is I'd like us to look at the 4-hour chart to get a better indicator due to how long this has been in a downtrend, as you can see from here. And I also want to point out, while we're in this 4-hour chart, that there are a bunch of gap fills. There's a gap fill here. There's a gap fill here. There's a gap fill here. And I might have missed one along the way. We're looking at the 4-hour chart. I'm sorry. I was thinking about the daily 1-year chart. But I did, if you go to my Twitter and you look for EVFM, I did call out all of the gap fills that we have because, like I said, there's several. Oh, you know what? I do see there's the other two right here and right here. So guys, on the way up, we have like 5 different gap fills that we're going to be attempting to fill. So potentially this can go a whole lot higher if we continue in an uptrend. And before I get into the 4-hour analytics, I want to just tell everybody what's going on with EVFM in case you only heard EVFM's running and you jumped into it not knowing anything about it. But EVFM is a company I've actually had in my long-term portfolio because they have something called Plexi. And Plexi is a form of birth control that has no hormones in it. And I don't know about any of you who are women watching or who have wives or girlfriends or whatever that have been on birth control. The hormones can make people crazy. And I mean, like, literally, they feel like they're not themselves. And it's a very, very bad feeling for a lot of women. So the fact that Plexi exists and is out there and available with no hormones and a very good success rate, I just thought would be an incredible stock long term. Like, I'm looking like 5-10 years out. This play right now that I'm playing separately, because I will be keeping this in my long-term portfolio because I actually believe in this company. So I was thrilled to see it running today. But short term, I mean, it's bullish because of the whole Roe versus Wade news that came out over the weekend. And now women are going to be looking, that may have unfortunately I don't want to get into the politics, but anyways, there may be more women looking for better birth control methods. Okay. So that being said, I think that Plexi is a very good alternative, especially for women that just can't deal with the hormones. I mean, my own daughter struggles, and I told her about Plexi, but she doesn't like the fact that it's a gel. But anyways, um, it's just something that women need to keep in mind, and even for like young girls, because my daughter started on birth control because of acne, guys. And I mean, there's a lot of teenagers that have to get on, something with hormones to regulate. And I'm not sure if this type would help with that as well, or possibly not because it doesn't have the hormone alternative, but it's just something to think about. But there's also a lot of other things that they're finding out about EVFM that I mean, about Plexi, which is, the drug that EVFM has, that's the catalyst here, that I just think is so beneficial to so many women. So, think of this as a swing trade because I think this has a lot further up to go. And guys, I'm not saying that we're going to get, past, $10 or whatever. However, we could. It is possible. There's gaps in the chart. There's a lot of bullish factors. But you also have to remember this market is a lot different than the market we were in a couple of years ago because a lot of people are back to work now. So you don't have as many retail day traders, although I think there's still a lot more than there ever was. But in addition to that, have been in a very down market. So people are afraid to hold things overnight. And I did go and look at the comments and saw multiple people saying, oh my gosh, should I hold this? It's so good. I'm up so much. I'm really afraid. And I didn't respond to anything. I was just looking and I don't give my personal financial opinion. Anyways, but I held mine overnight, guys, and I'm going to be holding mine as a swing trade for a while unless I see that trend start to change because I can see the gaps in the chart. I can see how bullish it looks. I can see on the 4-hour right now. See the green, again, is my 13, and I use the pink on the 4-hour, guys, just so that if I'm trading quickly during the day and I'm clicking screens, it's an indicator to me. It's not purple, it's pink. So close enough in color, but enough for me to know that I'm looking at a 4-hour time frame. But anyways, the 13 just crossed above the 48 here, which is an extremely bullish indicator. And as you can see, I've responded very nicely to this. Now we're going to go over to the 5-minute chart. And I just want to show you how great we're doing. So pre-market this morning, the news broke over the weekend, or I forget what day it was. I feel like every day runs together. But anyways, either Friday or over the weekend, the news broke regarding the Roe versus Wade decision. And you see that we got this crossover. I'm guessing it was Friday based on this movement. You see this crossover where the 13 crossed above the 48, guys. And this was all the way down in 30-40 cent range over here, okay? Crossed up above. We ran into pre-market quite early at 4 a.m. in the morning. We had a massive move up. And then, guys, you see it came and dipped a little bit below, which is good. It needs to consolidate. All this right here is pure consolidation. You want to see this happen when you're riding a trend up, because if it doesn't consolidate and makes a straight move up to, God only knows what number, guess what? It's going to make that same straight move right back down. This is building nice, beautiful levels of support for our move up in case we do have a bad day and we dip. Okay, we want this to happen, bullish. So again, the 13 crossed below the 48 and then back up. It crossed above it, after market open, and this thing just went on a nice rip right up past through $1. I think it hit like $1.10, $1.12 maybe, and then it consolidated again. Boom, exactly what you want to see, guys. This is beautiful. And then once again, the 13 just dipped below the 48. Perfect. That's exactly what we want to see there too. And ran again, and look at that, and then came back down. This continued on till about 5 p.m. It really ran. It went up to $1.30 something at one point, right? And then it came back down. And guys, right now it's just hovering, but you can see the big candles. And I'm going to tell you what, with that short interest we just discussed, anything over 10 is very high, guys. And I know that lately we've been seeing some crazy numbers like with Redbox and Rev, but anything over 10 is very high, guys. And you better believe that with this catalyst on the table and knowing that this is the start of some crazy rules that might come into place that lawmakers are talking about, that I expect that this is going to be on a run for, a little bit, at least, who knows, the next couple days for sure, in my opinion. Anything can happen, but the charts just are beautiful. And I love the consolidation. So let's hope to see that when you see these little dips. If you're playing this as a swing trade, don't worry about it. This is exactly what you want to see. And as you can see with each one, when that consolidation ends, you get like that initial dip that's down a little bit more. And a lot of people get scared out on that candle, guys. That's not the time to get scared out, because look what follows, that big run. And then look again, same thing right here in after hours. That moved down and then boop. And we closed the day at 125. So those of you that didn't sell at market close when it was 107, you're up a significant amount. I mean, look at this, guys. This was at 107. It's even more. We're up probably over 200% right now, but up 187.71% on the day. That's just phenomenal. Moves like this, they don't happen every day. And especially getting one that's, likely to continue this trend. This is just amazing. And I hope you all made some money. And if you didn't get into it today, then I hope you're able to find your entry point tomorrow and ride it again. All right, guys, have a wonderful night. Thanks for watching. And if you could, like and subscribe, I'd appreciate it. Talk to you later.